Alright everybody, welcome back to TW9, the War of Immortals save with the WWFC Classics. We are here getting ready to book our WWFC Superstars show. So let's take a run through of what happened last week. So we had a pre-show Battle Royal where Haku won the Battle Royal. Then we had Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura run down the card. We had Kamala take on Coco Beware. Andre putting out a warning to Kamala that Saturday night's main event tomorrow. Um, things aren't looking very good for Kamala. Then we had the Rougeaus beat the Road Warriors after interference from Arn Anderson. Jimmy Hart running down the six-man tag match that is going to happen with the Honky Tonk Man and the Nasty Boys taking on Jim Duggan, Coco Beware, and Brutus Barber Beefcake. Then we had the Midnight Express defeat Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson. LOD challenge the New Horsemen to a six-man tag match with the mystery partner. Money Inc. defeated Strike Force to retain their tag titles. Jimmy Cornette talks about how the Midnight Express are done sitting back. Look at what they did. They beat Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson there. And they will be the tag team champions. Then in our co-main event, we had the New Horsemen, Arn, Tully, and Barry defeat Snuka and Demolition. Then we had Hulk Hogan cut a promo talking about how he is going to face Paul Orndorff at the upcoming Saturday night's main event tomorrow. So I will be right back in a couple of minutes after I am done booking the show. All right, everybody, so we are back. We have the show booked. Let's jump in and start with our pre-show match, which was a 10-man battle royal, and of course, somebody else gets hurt. In a decent pre-show match, Harley Race won a battle royal in 10 minutes and 3 seconds by finally eliminating Jimmy the Superfly Snuka. So the crowd at the end is expectant and simmering. The wrestling rating got a 59, the crowd rating got a 55, and the segment got a 64. Sergeant Slaughter sustained a major concussion. George the Animal Steel debuted his crazy gimmick, and it got an initial rating of great. Bushwhacker Luke was off his game. The commentary quality lifted the match, and the great performance of Harley Race stood out. So let's head into our next pre-show match, which got a 73. So in a decent pre-show match, Cowboy Bob Orton and Magnificent Morocco defeated Demolition, the Islanders, and the Natural Disasters in 9 minutes and 41 seconds by finally eliminating Demolition. So the crowd is expectant and simmering. The wrestling got a 66. The crowd got a 57. The segment got a 73. Don Morocco had a 69. Bob Orton Jr. had a 65. Smash had a 63. Axe had an 80. Tama had a 39. Haku had an 82. Typhoon had a 66. And Earthquake had a 62. Actually, that's not that bad. Axe and Smash showed excellent chemistry. Haku and Tama showed excellent chemistry. Haku and Tama got a tag team specialist bonus. Earthquake and Typhoon showed excellent chemistry. And Bobby Heenan did some good work at ringside. So let's head into our first segment, which got an 83. That is the best we've gotten out of trying to do this forever. So the Roddy Piper storyline idea was a failure. He received a morality penalty because of the story idea. The angle got the crowd hotter, and the show got it off to a strong start. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another action-packed edition of WWFC Superstars. I'm Jim Ross, alongside my broadcast partner, Jesse the Body Ventura. And folks, we've got a huge night of wrestling for you. Two of the biggest names in WWFC will be in action tonight, and you don't want to miss it. That's right, Ross. We're talking big names. How about this? Hulk Hogan going one-on-one with the massive King Kong Bundy. A former world champion Hulk Hogan trying to prove he still has it, but I don't know if he's ready for the challenge of Bundy brings, Ross. It's going to be a battle of giants for sure, Jesse, but Hogan's heart and the will of the Hulkamaniacs have carried him through some tough fights. But that's not all, folks. We've also got Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff stepping into the ring with none other than Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Orndorff's going to have his hands full tonight, Ross. Duggan may be tough, but Orndorff is as dangerous as they come. After that cheap shot on Hogan, you know Orndorff's got a lot to prove. And let me tell you, Duggan's going to have to bring his best if he wants to survive in there tonight. It's going to be one heck of a fight between those two, Jesse. No doubt about it. But when there's more tonight, we'll see the Midnight Express in tag team action at Saturday night's main event as well. We'll also have a promo on Saturday night's main event from Jim Cornette. But also, there will be a match at Saturday night's main event between Andre the Giant and Kamala. And if that's not enough, folks, tonight's main event, Rowdy Roddy Piper will team up with none other than the Ultimate Warrior to take on two of the biggest names in the WWFC, the Macho King Randy Savage and Ravishing Rick Rude. Oh, I can't wait for this one, Ross. You've got the unhinged unpredictability Piper teaming up with the wild and reckless Warrior. How are those two going to get along? Huh? Then you got Savage and Rude, two men with the smarts and skills to outclass anyone. This is going to be a battle of power, speed, and chaos. Jesse, you know as well as I do, anytime Piper and Warrior are in the ring, anything can happen. Savage and Rude, though, they've been unstoppable lately, and this might be their toughest challenge yet. These four men hate each other, and tonight they're going to let it all out in that ring. Savage and Rude know how to play the game, Ross. Piper's crazy and Warrior's a loose cannon, but Savage and Rude are dangerous because they've got the brains to back up their brawn. I think Piper and Warrior are going to be in for a long night. It's a main event for the ages, folks. Piper and the Ultimate Warrior versus Savage and Rick Rude. It doesn't get any bigger than that, and the action's going to be fast, furious, and unpredictable. It's all going down right here tonight on WWFC Superstars. So let's head into our first match of the night. It will be Power and Glory taking on Strikeforce, which got a 68. That's not too bad. In a decent match, Strikeforce defeated Power and Glory in 9 minutes and 57 seconds when Tito Santana pinned Hercules. Rick Martel carried the match in terms of ring performance. The crowd at the end was hot. The wrestling rating was a 57. The crowd rating was a 48. And the segment got a 68. So Hercules had an in-ring performance of 51. Paul Roma had a 49. Tito had a 56, and Rick Martel had a 72. Paul Roma and Hercules got a tag team specialist bonus. Rick Martel and Tito showed excellent chemistry teaming together, and Rick Martel and Tito Santana got a tag team specialist bonus. So let's head into the next segment, which is a promo from the Big Boss Man. It's got a 52. Honky Tonk Man, you've been running your mouth for far too long, boy. You talking about being the greatest WWFC World Television Champion, but the truth is you've been ducking me. Every time I come looking for a title match, you're nowhere to be found. You're hiding behind that guitar, hiding behind Jimmy Hart, doing whatever you can to stay out of my way. But let me tell you something, Honky Tonk Man. There ain't no place you can hide from the law. I'm coming for you, and I'm coming for that WWFC World Television Championship. You can run and you can hide, but sooner or later, you're going to have to step into the ring with me. And when you do, justice is going to be served. I don't care how many times you've run away or how many excuses you make. I'm not stopping until I get my hands on you. So, Honky Tonk Man, you better stop hiding behind that title and face me like a man, or I'm gonna find you, drag you into that ring myself. The time for running is over, Honky Tonk. You're gonna find out real soon what happens when you mess with the law. And when that time comes, boy, There ain't gonna be no guitar, no fancy footwork that can save you. Justice is coming for you. And I'm gonna take that title. So the uh, commentary lifted the segment. The color commentary gave the segment a boost. Let's head into our next match, which is Mr. Wonderful versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So, in a decent match, Paul Orndorff defeated Hacksaw Jim Duggan in 12 minutes and 23 seconds by pinfall with his pile driver. The crowd at the end is hot. The wrestling rating got a 68, the crowd rating got a 66, and the segment got a 77. Paul Orndorff had an in-ring performance of 63. Hacksaw had a 72. It also advanced our Hulk Hogan and Paul Orndorff storyline. So that's actually a lot better match than I thought I was going to get. Let's head to our next segment. It's got a 64. Man, so the creative angle idea I tried to do failed completely. You know something, brother? This Saturday is Saturday night's main event. It's gonna be time for payback. Yeah, Paul Orndorff, you and I, we got history. Dude, you stabbed me in the back once and I let it slide, but then you did it again, man. And now there's no more running, no more hiding, because this Saturday, you're gonna get exactly what's coming to you, brother. You thought you could blindside the Hulkster, man. You thought you could cheap shot me and get away with it. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Wonderful. You made the biggest mistake of your life when you turned your back on me again. And now this Saturday, I'm coming for you with everything I've got, brother. You see, Orndorff, when you mess with the Hulkster, you're not just messing with me, you're messing with all my Hulkamaniacs. And there's millions of them, brother. They've stood by my side through thick and thin, and now they're going to be right there with me when I take you down this Saturday night. You think you're wonderful? You think you're better than me, dude? Well, we're going to find out the truth this Saturday, Orndorff. When that bell rings, there's nothing that's going to save you from the beatdown that's coming your way. You're stepping into the ring with the best, and you're going to feel the power of Hulkamania, brother. So, Orndorff, you better be ready. You better bring everything you've got, because when I get my hands on you, there's going to be no mercy, dude. You're going to pay for what you did, and Hulkamania's going to run wild all over you, brother. What you going to do, Orndorff, when Hulkamania and all the Hulkamaniacs destroy you at Saturday night's main event? So it lost the Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan storyline some heat, because the angle was just horrible. But the commentary lifted it. Good thing for the commentary. Okay, so let's head into our next match, which got a 71. In a decent match, Honky Tonk Man and Big Boss Man defeated Rugged Ronnie Garvin and Brutus the Barber Beefcake in 12 minutes and 10 seconds when the Boss Man pinned Rugged Ronnie Garvin with the sidewalk slam. So the crowd was hot. The wrestling rating was a 59. The crowd rating was a 61. The segment rating was a 71. Brutus the Barber Beefcake had a 54. Rugged Ronnie Garvin had an in-ring performance of 48. Boss Man had a 70. The Honky Tonk Man had a 64. Rugged Ronnie Garvin debuted his old school face gimmick, and it got the initial rating of very good. It advanced the Boss Man, Beefcake, and Honky Tonk Man storyline. The creative finish was a success. Jimmy Hart did some good work at ringside, and Slick did good work at ringside. So let's head off to our next segment, which got a 68. Well, look at what we got here. The so-called Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. And they think they can just waltz in here and issue challenges to the Horsemen? And they even went and found themselves a partner. Like, that's going to make a difference. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. We don't run from anybody, especially not from a bunch of painted up freaks like the Road Warriors, or whatever poor sap they managed to drag along as their third man. You want to challenge the Horsemen to a 6-man tag team match at Saturday night's main event? You got it. LOD, we respect what you've done. But let's get something straight. You're stepping into the ring with the best unit in professional wrestling. The Horsemen don't take challenges lightly, and when you step into that ring, it's going to be a lesson in pain and precision. Road Warriors, you've made your career out of brute strength, but strength alone gets you so far. This isn't some brawl in the streets you're stepping into. The ring with the most technically sound, the most ruthless team there is, and your partner, whoever he is, he's just gonna get hurt for getting involved. I've fought the toughest men in this business, and the Road Warriors, they may be strong, but we're smarter and we're better. We'll break you down piece by piece until there's nothing left. So, LOD, bring your mystery partner, bring your face paint, your spikes, and your little tough guy attitude. None of it's going to matter when you step into the ring with the Horsemen, because at Saturday night's main event, we're not going to beat you. We're going to embarrass you. And when it's all over and you're laying on your backs looking up at the lights, you'll realize that there's only one group running this place, and it's the Horsemen. Saturday night, the Horsemen take over one by one. We'll leave you broken in the ring, and after we're done, you'll know exactly who's in charge around here. See you at Saturday night's main event, boys, if you're still standing. So, it was an interview that took place backstage where we saw Arn and Bobby cutting a promo. Barry, Sid, and Tully were just kind of standing there. So let's head to our next match, which is the Texas Tornado versus one of our newest debuts. So we got a 71 and a decent wild brawl. The Texas Tornado defeated the Natural Butch Reed in 12 minutes and 33 seconds by pinfall. So the crowd is very hot. The wrestling rating got a 61. The crowd rating got a 52. The segment rating got a 71. Butch Reed had an in-ring performance of 53. The Texas Tornado had a 68. The Natural Butch Reed debuted his natural gimmick, and it got an initial rating of poor. It advanced our Perfect Snuka and Tornado storyline. The Texas Tornado seemed off his game. The Colonel Robert Parker did some good work at ringside, and the Natural Butch Reed and Colonel Robert Parker are good pairing and play off each other well, so that's really good. I kind of put them together because Butch Reed isn't much of a promo guy, so it's really good to see that they work well together. Let's head to our next segment, which got a 77. Oh yeah, you know something, Roddy Piper? You've been running your mouth for a long time, and I'm sick of it. Yeah, I'm tired of your wild antics. I'm tired of your cheap shots, and I'm tired of you thinking you could get away with anything. Yeah. But this Saturday at Saturday night's main event, things are going to change, Piper. Yeah, because I'm calling you out to a no disqualification match. You hear that, Piper? No rules, no limits, just me and you in that ring. Ooh, yeah. You want to get wild? You want to fight dirty? You want to get crazy? Well, nobody gets crazier than the Macho King. Yeah. You bring everything you got, 'cause this time there won't be any DQs to save your hide. Yeah, you've been hiding behind the rules for far too long. But not this time, Piper. Not this time. I've been at the top of the mountain, yeah, and I'm about to let some lunatic take that away from me. This no DQ match is exactly what I've been waiting for, Piper, because when the dust settles and the smoke clears, I'm gonna prove that the Macho King reigns supreme. Dig it, Piper. This Saturday night, you're stepping into the ring with the most dangerous man in this business. Yeah. And I'm not just coming to beat you, no. I'm coming to destroy you. No disqualifications means anything goes, and I'm going to use every trick in the book, every weapon at my disposal, and I'm going to leave you laying in that ring when it's all said and done. So get ready, Piper, because this Saturday, March 16th, at Saturday night's main event, the Macho King is coming for you. No DQ, no escape. Ooh, yeah. Dig it. So it advanced our Savage Piper and Warrior storyline. The crowd heat at the end was very hot. It got a 77. So that's not too bad. Could have been a little better. Let's head off into our next match, which got an 80. Hey, that's really good. In a decent match, the New Horsemen, Barry Windham and Sid Vicious defeated the Fabulous Freebirds in 9:50 when Sid pinned Michael Hayes with a power bomb. Michael Hayes was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody. Boy, that's horrible. Uh, the crowd heat at the end was very hot. The wrestling rating was a 66. The crowd rating was a 56. The segment got an 80. Terry Gordy had an in-ring performance of 60. Michael Hayes had a 48. Sid Vicious had an 83. Barry Windham had a 74. Michael Hayes debuted his Rockstar gimmick. It has initially gotten a poor. Terry Gordy debuted his badass gimmick, and it got an initial rating of great. Michael Hayes seemed off his game. Michael and Terry showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Barry Windham and Sid Vicious had great chemistry when teaming together. Bobby Heenan did some good work at ringside, so it advanced the New Horsemen storyline as well. And it also gave us another team that we could use sometime down the road, especially since they have great chemistry together. Now, let's check out the recap gimmicks. It gives a large penalty to star quality during matches and angles. They receive a bonus when booked to look dominant, can be penalized for being used in lengthy matches. Gives a large boost to psychology during matches, penalized for comedy gimmick, and can be penalized for losing to a comedy gimmick and cartoonish gimmicks. Well, I kind of understand that. Okay, so let's head off to the next promo. It's got a 66 from Luger running down his match with Bam Bam Bigelow coming up. Bam Bam Bigelow, you think you're tough because you can throw your weight around, because you got that fire, and because you think you could take down the total package. Well, I got news for you, big man, this Saturday night. In the last man standing match, it's not about size or weight, it's about heart, and it's about power. And it's about who can survive. Bam Bam, you've been talking a big game, but you're stepping into the ring with someone who's not just going to beat you, I'm going to knock you out. Plain and simple. This match isn't about pinfalls or submissions. No. This match is about who can keep getting up, and let me tell you something. You may be tough, but you're not tough enough to stay down every time I hit you. I'm going to take every ounce of power in my body, every muscle, every bit of strength I've got, and I'm going to hit you so hard that you won't be able to get back up. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how many times you've tried to take me out in the past. This time, I'm going to make sure you don't answer the 10 count, because the total package doesn't stop until he's standing tall. So Bam Bam, you better be ready, because this Saturday night at Saturday night's main event, you're going to find out what happens when you step into the ring with someone who's unstoppable. You're going to feel the power of these arms. You're going to feel the impact of the total package. And when that final count hits 10, you're going to know that Lex Luger is not just the best in the business. I'm the man that put you down for good. Bam Bam, you wanted a fight, and now you got it. But you better believe that come Saturday night, I will be the last man standing. So the commentary lifted the quality of the match. The crowd at the end is still very hot. Let's head off to our next match. Let's go to 79. Hey, that's not too bad. And about to head good heat and decent wrestling, Hulk Hogan defeated King Kong Bundy in 8 minutes and 3 seconds by pinfall with a scoop slam. Really didn't put much effort into that one. The crowd at the end is very hot. The wrestling rating was a 68. The crowd rating was a 74. This segment got a 79. Hogan had an in-ring performance of 89. King Kong Bundy had an in-ring performance of 47. And King Kong Bundy debuted his monster gimmick, and it got an adequate. It also advanced the Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan storyline. So let's head to our next segment, which got an 82. Thank you. Finally, a good promo. So it's just an interview where Jesse is interviewing Mr. Perfect about the upcoming match at Saturday night's main event with the Texas Tornado. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event, the greatest Intercontinental Champion in the history of the WWFC, Mr. Perfect, will step into the ring to defend his title against the so-called Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich. And if you think for 1 second that the Tornado stands a chance, well, you're sadly mistaken. Perfect, the Tornado's been running around here thinking he's got what it takes to dethrone you, but we both know that's a joke, right? Jesse, it's laughable, isn't it? The idea that the Texas Tornado or anyone thinks they can take this title off me. Let me remind everybody watching, you're looking at Mr. Perfect. Everything I do inside the ring, outside of it, is exactly what my name says. Perfect. Tomorrow night, the Texas Tornado is going to get blown away. He might have the power, he might have the wild spinning punch, but none of that means a thing when you step into the ring with someone who can out wrestle, outthink, and outperform you at every single turn. That's right, Texas Tornado. He's been riding high, but it's one thing to swing that big punch around. It's another thing to be as sharp, as technically sound, and as dominant as Mr. Perfect. That ring is where you prove yourself, and nobody's better than Perfect at proving why he's the best. Texas Tornado, you can bring all the power you want, but when it comes to skill, technique, and execution, you're out of your league. You're going to step into the ring and realize real quick that you're in there with someone a whole different level. Tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event, I'm going to show the world why Mr. Perfect is not just a name, it's a fact, and when the dust settles, I'll still be standing here with the title around my waist because no one, and I mean no one, can beat perfection. That's right, Tornado, you're stepping into the ring with wrestling royalty, and when it's all said and done, you're going to be another footnote in the perfect legacy of Mr. Perfect. Tomorrow night, Tornado, it's not going to be a storm. It's going to be a shutout. So Mr. Perfect invented a new catchphrase that will likely boost his ability on the microphone, as he now has a go-to line. So the crowd is very hot still. Uh, let's head into our final match, which is the tag team main event. And it got a 99. That is awesome. I have not gotten anything this good at all. In about to head superb wrestling and great heat, the Macho King Randy Savage and ravishing Rick Rude defeated Roddy Piper and the Ultimate Warrior in 17 minutes and 36 seconds when Rick Rude pinned the Ultimate Warrior with the Rude Awakening. The crowd at the end is very hot. The wrestling rating was an 89. The crowd rating was an 83, and the segment got a 99. Rick Rude had an in-ring performance of 81. Macho King Randy Savage had an in-ring performance of 87. The Ultimate Warrior had a 92. Roddy Piper had a 96. It advanced the Savage Piper Warrior storyline, the Rick Rude and Jake Roberts storyline, and the creative finish that I picked out was a success. Piper and Ultimate Warrior have great chemistry when teaming together. The match deserved better color commentary, and the match got the crowd buzzing. So let's head to the end here. And we got an 89, so that's not too bad. So it increased our popularity in 13 regions. We would have gained one in the US region, but we were limited to the number of viewers, along with 2 of the Canadians as well. So let's finish everything off. The injury review. Sergeant Slaughter has a major concussion. Will only be able to work angles for the next 18 days. The financial report, we made $748,237. Oh, our regions in Canada went up. So Quebec, Ontario, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba all went up. That's fantastic. So that is everything for this episode. So I will see everybody in the next one.